I decided that I was going to compete, the first decision that my coach and I had to make was what I was going to compete in. There are different categories that you can compete in. There's like, for women, there's bikini, there's figure, there's physique. So just kind of depending on how you're built and your body and where you're at when you decide to make that decision, that's kind of how you gear towards which way you want to go. So I contacted my coach and I said, let's do it. I think I want to do it. And he was like, all right, let's meet up and let's talk. So we got together and we talked. And at first he was kind of on the fence about where to put me. For women's figure, you need a lot more muscle than what I currently had. And so he's like, let's put you at bikini first. You have nice legs, you're tall, you're lean, and you know, you got the look for it. Let's start there, because that's always a really good place to get experience. So I was like, fine, that like whatever you think, you obviously know more than I do. So we just kind of went from there. We decided that we were gonna go with bikini, and once we made that decision, I was constantly searching, looking up what exactly bikini was, everything that goes into it, so that, you know, I knew what I was getting myself into. So that was kind of where we went from there. And you got to make those decisions based off your body type. And like I said, for figure, I would have needed a lot more muscle. So for me to do a show in figure, it would have taken a lot more time and a lot more muscle to put on. But because I felt like I was ready to do it, he's like, you know what, you're ready for a bikini, let's do bikini and let's see how you do there. And you know what, it's trial and error anyways, like with anything. So you gotta start with one thing, see how that works, and you know what, if that doesn't work out, then you just transition into something else and you go from there. So especially being first time, it's kind of like, see how this works and then we'll go from there. So that was kind of how we made the decision to do bikini. So, and I'm tall, and I haven't really seen many tall competitors, so, and it goes by height, so I'm hoping that I can use my height to my advantage. Getting on a meal plan for the first time and following a diet, being a full-time college student, it's not always easy. With my major, I was going for athletic training, and we had 25 to 30 hours that we had to put in with our assigned teams a week on top of our full load of classes. So it was really difficult to try and make sure that all of my meals were getting in on time, because when you're working with athletes and they're constantly practicing and they need you for this and they need you for that, you can't say, okay, 1 second, I gotta go eat and I'll be right back. So you kind of have to squeeze it in when you can. A lot of times I couldn't eat an entire meal at one time. I was kind of like snacking on it here and there, but coach was always just like, I know you guys are busy, college, you guys have things to do, but just try, just get them in. So that was the goal. There were sometimes I would be starving. Like I wouldn't have time to get those meals in every 2-3 hours like you're supposed to. And I was worried. I was like, is this gonna affect anything? I mean, am I not gonna build muscle, this and that? Because I didn't know. And he was just like, no, just get them in and you'll be fine. So that's what I did. I just did the best that I could. And it is tough when you're really busy, but I have found that meal prepping and being prepared makes things so much easier than trying to have to come up with something when you're already starving and you're already tired. If it's already ready and it's already made and you have it with you, all you gotta do is pop it in the microwave and eat it. So it's a lot of people think that it's harder, but it's actually a lot easier, and I personally think that it's cheaper because you're not constantly going out to eat and trying to spend money on different things. You buy what you need, you have it, you make it, and that's what you eat, and you're good to go. So that was kind of how I transitioned into that. I was so busy I didn't have time to eat or worry about anything else. And I enjoyed eating clean, and I enjoyed following a meal plan. It made me feel like legit. It made me feel like the hard work that I was doing, like this is how it's supposed to be, this is how the sport is. So it was kind of just like encouraged me to keep going, kind of, I guess, if that even makes sense. But it wasn't hard to follow a meal plan. Growing up, my mom and my dad, we always ate really, really healthy. There was never really junk food in the house. There was never really like pop or drinks that have a lot of sugar, foods, anything like that. It was always really, really healthy. She cooked every single night for us. She would have like a protein, a veggie, and then something else. And so I was used to eating that way. It feels good eating that way to me. So it really wasn't like I struggled trying to follow the meal plan. So progressing through prep, I started prep on February 1st. So that was like 3 months ago. And when I first started, I weighed probably 158, 157 in that area right there. And currently now, when I stepped on the scale, I haven't this week, but last week I was at 146. So, I mean, that's a good amount of weight to lose, but it was slowly every week. I probably dropped maybe like a pound or 2 pounds every week. But when you're doing this for the first time, it's stressful and it's kind of hard because you don't know if you're where you're supposed to be. You don't know if how you're looking is right. You don't know if you're on track. You don't know. And so kind of, it's stressful because it's like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know how I'm supposed to look. I don't know how I'm supposed to be feeling. I really don't know. And I remember buying clothes like right at the beginning of my prep, and I was kind of like frustrated because they were a little bit smaller, but me thinking that they should already be fitting, but right away they're not gonna fit like right away. But I put them on the other day and they were actually kind of big. And so just to see from where I was like February 1st to right now, let's say like April 23rd, how much my body's actually changed. It's like, sometimes I'll like not even recognize myself. Like my family will see me and they're like, you're so small, you've changed so much. But when you're looking at yourself every day, you don't really see it. You don't really feel it. You don't think that you're changing. You don't think that you're looking how people say that you're looking. But if you compare pictures from like now till then, it's like I said, even stepping on the scale, I've dropped at least like 10, 11 pounds. So I mean, that obviously your body is changing. So you can see it in my face. I know my face is a lot smaller than it was back then, and I feel like after my show, once that fills out, I'm gonna feel like I look puffy. But my face was the first thing that went. So, but yeah, it's like I said, it is stressful because you don't know what to expect and you don't know. So you constantly messaging your coaches, is this okay? Do I look okay? Like, am I gonna be all right in this area? Like for me, the problem, I'm worried about my legs, like the sides of my legs, and everybody's like, you're fine, it's gonna be gone. But it's like, you don't know, like you still have 3 weeks, everything's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be there anymore. But seeing it now and thinking, 22 days, I'm stepping on stage, not really knowing exactly how much I'm gonna change, it's still stressful, and you still worry about certain things because you wanna step on stage and you wanna look good, and you don't wanna have like weak spots. You want to have a perfect package, but like I said, for the first time, not knowing, there's just a lot of like unknowns, and you just gotta trust that, like trust your protocol and trust that it's gonna be okay. So one question that I've been getting I've been receiving a lot of messages, a lot of people asking me, what are you taking? Like, how are you making these changes? Like what are you using? And so what I've been using, I pretty much just call it like a prep stack. I'll start in the morning with T2. It is a thyroid hormone. It's a liquid, and what you do is you just, first thing in the morning is you put it under your tongue, let it sit for 60 seconds, and then you just kind of swish it around, swallow it. Doesn't taste bad. I was really nervous that it was gonna taste bad, but because I've never used any of these types of things before. And I was also using LipoBurn. It's a topical cellulite competition spray. All you do is you just spray it on like those areas that you're kind of worried about. I know every girl has their places. Like I said, mine's my legs. You just spray it on those, those spots that cardio can't get alone. Those spots that just need like a little bit of help. And so I would spray LipoBurn before I would do my fasted cardio. So T2, LipoBurn in the morning. Those are my main two things in the morning. So what I take as a pre-workout, I use Wicked 3.0. It's by Mind and Muscle. You just drink it before you work out. Within probably like 10, 12 minutes, you're already feeling energy, you're feeling focused, you're feeling ready to work out. And without that, when you're being like carb deprived and you're tired and you're hungry and you're doing way more cardio than you're normally used to, trying to get through lifting, especially tough workouts, it's really hard. So to try and do that on your own, I feel like there's no way I would even be able to get through my workout. So you need a pre-workout, you need something that's gonna be able to get you through and actually allow you to push yourself while you're tired, to push past like those mental barriers. You don't really, like you can do like those couple extra reps, you can do like that extra bit of weight that you normally wouldn't have been able to do if you were just exhausted, like without taking it. So one thing that people do ask me is, how do you fit everything in? You're a full-time student, you work, your clinicals that you're assigned to. How do you find time to train and meal prep and, you know, everything that it takes to compete and get to that next level? And you have to make time for it. There were mornings I was getting up at 6 a.m. to go get a lift in, or to do cardio, just because that's when I had time. That's when you just gotta, you have to make time for it if that is what you wanna do. And it's all about, like, you have to kind of be organized a little bit. You have to kind of create a schedule and fit things where you can. Sometimes I would have to go in and be like, all right, I got 30 minutes, I can do 30 minutes of cardio here, then I'll go back to class and I'll go finish the rest of this, and then I'll study, and then later tonight I'll go back and I'll lift. You just kind of, like I said, if you want it to work, you just kind of got to fit it in whenever you can. And it is hard sometimes, and you are rushing, and there are times when you don't get enough sleep. But you know, if this is what you want to do and this is what you love, it all just becomes worth it. So, but yeah, it definitely is a commitment, and you have to be dedicated to it. You can't just go through the motions and expect to see results. You have to actually put the work in. It's not something that just happens. So, this is Anna Guerra, Team Juggernaut, Mind and Muscle. Thanks for taking time to check me out, and I'll catch you guys later.